Before the trail encounter, before the divine warning, before she ever fled with her children, there was this night. This was the night the world cracked open. September 1983 draped the town in a sweltering wet blanket. As evening approached, it pushed a gang of 8 kids out onto the single gravel road that cut through their small Pennsylvania coal town. They were a mixed crew, a pack of friends with ages that spanned from 8 to 15. In the bingo hall down the road, their mothers sat under a haze of cigarette smoke, the air thick with the rhythmic clack-clack of daubers on paper. But outside, the air smelled of dust, distant coal fires, and the irresistible perfume of wild Concord grapes. The sun would set behind a tree line at the bottom of our town that was thick and strong, but not so dense we couldn't walk into it easily. The kids on their bikes, tires crunching on gravel, couldn't resist the lure of the grapes.
Get the hell out of that grapevine!
A voice would boom from a window. They'd scatter, laughing, the skin of the grapes popping in their mouths, a burst of warm, liquid sweetness, followed by the satisfying crunch of the seeds. As the sun bled out behind the trees, the few streetlights flickered to life. Thirsty, they piled into a friend's house, collapsing in the living room around a small rabbit-eared television. But one of the 12-year-old girls couldn't settle. Her gaze kept drifting to the screened window, to the thick trunk of the apple tree. The hair on her arms prickled. The silence from the woods felt heavy, a listening quiet. Her unease was broken when 2 of the 15-year-olds launched into an armpit symphony. The first wet thwap drew a snort, the second a giggle, and soon the room was shaking with breathless, full-bellied laughter that left them wiping tears from their eyes. Even the youngest, an 8-year-old, was breathless with glee. The noise was cut short by a booming voice from a back bedroom.
I can't hear my TV! You're too loud! Go back outside!
Giggles followed them out the front door. They filed across the long porch and into the yard. From a porch at the top of the hill, an older brother called,
"What are y'all doing?"
His younger sister shot back,
"Tending our business and letting yours alone."
Their laughter rolled through the dark. The 12-year-old girl laid back in the freshly cut grass. For a moment, she thought she heard the sharp crack of a branch from the woods beyond the apple tree, but dismissed it. The moon climbed, full and creamy, painting the landscape in silver and black. It was then that the night broke. The girl's breath hitched. Something was wrong with the moonlight. A shadow was moving where no shadow should be, a patch of impossible blackness against the trees. It wasn't a cloud. It was rising. It was huge, covered in reddish-brown hair that seemed to drink the light, and it continued to swell, blotting out the stars. A scream tore the night.
"Run!"
Her own shriek was a raw scrape in her throat as they stampeded for the porch. Their backs found the siding of the house, shoulders pressed together, a line of wide, unblinking eyes fixed on the darkness. They couldn't go inside. They couldn't look away. After a few heart-stopping moments, a head rose slowly from the porch on the hill and then lowered itself. A collective sigh of relief passed through the group. Shoulders relaxed and nervous glances were exchanged, a silent agreement that it had to be a prank. But then, from the direction of the apple tree, a low growl started, a sound like rocks grinding together deep in the earth, a deep vibration that traveled through the wooden planks and up their legs. A rock arced out of the darkness, landing with a sharp thump on the gravel road. Acting without thinking, one of the 15-year-old boys slipped off the porch, snatched a stone, and hurled it into the blackness. It struck something solid with a sickening, fleshy thud. The answering roar shook the air, like train brakes shrieking, only alive and hateful. It made them clap their hands over their ears, their own cries turning into ragged wails as they clung to each other. Suddenly, the screen door of the house they'd left banged open. A man emerged, moving with an unnerving calm across the porch in his pajamas and a dark blue robe. They all cried out, but their voices were swallowed by the night as he walked on, seemingly deaf. It wasn't until he descended the steps and melted into the night that they heard the sharp click of a rifle's safety and saw the long, dark shape of the gun held low at his right side. A hush fell over them. The world shrank to the sound of their own frantic heartbeats. 2 deafening booms tore the night apart, the muzzle flash a violent, blinding strobe that burned the scene into their eyes. They heard the tink-tink of shell casings hitting the wooden porch. A moment later, they saw him again. No longer a calm man, but a figure with wide, unseeing eyes, his mouth a black hole of terror as he ran full tilt from the darkness. That was their cue. They broke for the house, tumbling over each other up the steps. When their mothers returned, they found them all huddled in the kitchen, a terrified mix of teenagers and young children. The man sat at the table, his massive hand rubbing his short-haired head, crying right along with them. The sharp metallic smell of spent gunpowder hung heavy in the air.
What happened?
His wife demanded, as the 12-year-old girl's mother pulled her and her two siblings into the safety of her arms. In a broken, defeated voice, the man simply repeated,
"I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was."
Silence settled, thick, leaden, broken only by the children's muffled sobs. He never spoke of that night again. The creature, whatever it was, fled across the backyard, leapt a chain-link fence and vanished into the night, never to be seen again. A growl from the darkness, the sight of something impossible. These are the moments that can shatter a childhood and redefine the world as we know it. They are the cracks in reality that shape us forever. If a brush with the unexplained has left its mark on you, we want to hear about it. Send your story to deadnetstudios@gmail.com. Your experience is a piece of the truth we're trying to illuminate.
In the shadows of the digital night, we've wandered far and seen some sights, from haunting tales to eerie lights. Deadnet Studios where fear ignites. So long, farewell from the crimson hollows. We'll be back again with more tales to follow. Keep the lights dimmed and your curiosity high. For in Deadnet's realm, the spirits never die. We've danced with ghosts, chased legends on, through cryptic codes, stories untold. In cyberspace where mysteries unfold, our journey's been daring, brave and bold. So long, farewell from the darkened halls, where shadows whisper and the unknown calls. Keep your eyes wide and your mind astir, for the mysteries of Deadnet are a haunting blur. In the world of strange and the unexplained, we find our stories wildly untamed. With the studio's end, we take a little rest. They find the shadows every best. So long, farewell from the crimson hollows. We'll be back again with more tales to follow. Keep the lights dimmed and your curiosity